I think a lot of people misunderstand emotional security. I think when it comes to emotional secure people, they imagine that this person never gets attached, this person never gets hurt, this person never gets anxious, this person doesn't overthink. But that's not what emotional security actually looks like. Emotional secure people, they still care, they still hope, they still feel uncertainty, they still experience disappointment. But the thing is, it's not like they have fewer emotions. It's how they relate to these emotions. What emotional security actually feels like. I think emotional security is often mistaken for certainty. Questions come up, people are human, relationships are dynamic, life changes. Emotional security is not needing constant reassurance. It isn't having all the answers together. It's not even perfect communication. It's being able to remain grounded even when you don't have all the answers yet. For me particularly, emotional safety is feeling grounded, feeling secure, knowing where I stand, and when questions come up, being able to get clear answers. There are clear answers and there are no confusion. That's what emotional safety is to me. And this is different from certainty. It's called steadiness. Let's compare healthy detachment with emotional avoidance. This is where people usually mix it up. Most people think that detachment means caring less, you don't have needs, you're feeling less, you're acting unbothered. They think that's what, detachment is. But that's not detachment, that's avoidance, that's self-protection, that's emotional withdrawal. Healthy detachment is different. It's caring deeply without your emotional stability dependent on the outcome. You remain connected to yourself. You just don't abandon yourself. The goal here is not like, oh, you want to stop caring. No, it's not like for detachment. It's not like, oh, you stop caring. No, that's not what detachment is. It is that you stop disappearing, you stop abandoning yourself while you care. How do you care deeply without over attaching? Attachment becomes difficult when it starts disconnecting you from yourself. When you stop paying attention to your standards, your needs, your reality, your discernment. Everything now becomes about you protecting your connection with that person. A lot of people think emotional security means caring less, being less affected, needing less. But I don't think caring deeply is the problem. Losing yourself is. The goal was never to stop caring. The goal was to stay connected while you do. Emotionally secure people care deeply, but they remain connected to themselves even while they care. They don't make another person's behavior responsible for their peace. They don't make uncertainty, they don't turn into an emergency situation. They don't sacrifice their reality to maintain hope. You see the difference? Why secure people don't rush certainty? This is where the difference actually becomes clear. Insecure attachment often wants answers immediately. It's one certainty before reality even has time to reveal itself. Emotionally secure people don't force clarity. They allow observation. They allow patterns to emerge. They allow information to reveal itself naturally. Not because they don't care, but because they trust themselves enough to handle whatever it is they find out, whatever it is they discover. The rush for certainty is usually looking for emotional relief. Secure people tolerate uncertainty better. That's the difference. When you're a secure person, you tolerate uncertainty better. Let's talk about self-trust. I think emotional security is built on self-trust more than anything else. Not trust that everything will work out, trust that you'll be okay even if it doesn't. That's a huge difference. You stop believing that, oh, I'll be okay if this relationship works. I'll be okay if the situation works. You start believing that I'll be okay either ways. And that is where so much emotional steadiness comes from. How do you maintain standards without being rigid? Emotional secure people have standards. I know you know that, but they're not rigid. They are not expecting perfection. They are not expecting people to never disappoint them. What they do expect is they expect consistency, they expect honesty, they expect emotional responsibility, they expect mutual effort, they expect clarity over time. They can be understanding, but understanding doesn't replace discernment. Compassion does not erase standards. So, I mentioned something earlier, steadiness. Hmm. How do you remain emotionally steady? What is emotional steadiness, right? One thing I've noticed is that emotionally secure people don't react to every feeling immediately. Mm-mm. They notice, they observe, they pause, they separate what am I feeling from what is actually happening. They don't assume that every uncomfortable feeling is intuition. They are not assuming that every uncertainty, at the sight of every uncertainty like this, there is danger. They are not assuming that every time there is a shift, abandonment is happening. No. They are able to create space between the feeling and the conclusion. And you see that middle, that's where emotional steadiness lives. The space between what you feel and the conclusion, emotional steadiness is in between. Staying grounded when questions arise. Questions will always come up, questions always exist. No relationship comes with complete certainty. No life path comes with complete certainty. No future comes with complete certainty. What you're trying to do here is not eliminating uncertainty. What you're trying to achieve is staying connected to yourself while uncertainty exists. You remain grounded, you remain observant, you remain honest, you remain truly yourself, even when you don't have all the answers. I don't think emotional security is about getting less attached at all. I think it's about becoming grounded enough that attachment doesn't make you abandon yourself, right? You still care, you still love deeply, you still hope, you still feel, you're optimistic about things, but you stay connected to yourself while you're doing that. You don't erase yourself, you don't abandon yourself, you don't erase your standard. And I think that is what emotional security actually looks like. Thank you very much for watching this episode. If my conversations resonate with you, stay here with me. See you next week. Bye.